Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
In this era in the NFL, when all we talk about is offense, I feel like the pendulum may be swinging back towards defense, especially in Denver. I mean, they could not have been more dominant at the end of 2015 and won a Super Bowl. There's been no drop-off in 2016.
And they've been clicking a little bit on offense. Simeon coming around. Here we go. Could be another Denver run deep in the playoffs.
How do you block Von Miller? Well, you really don't. DeMarcus Ware is out with injury now. How about Shane Ray? They invested a first-round pick in him last year, and he's playing awfully well. 3 sacks so far.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
They'll try the air now with Gall. And that's complete to Brian Quick. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and all of a sudden here it's third down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Fresh set of downs here. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And we introduce you to these starters now. And Tavon Austin, a man who really doesn't need any introduction anymore in this league.
He did it all when he's at the University of West Virginia. Played wide receiver, slot, returned kicks, even lined up at tailback and ran for over 300 yards. All of those talents will be on display in this game.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes a really good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Check.
Now Goff on first down. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here we go now. Detroit! Let's go!
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
First touch of the game here for Benny Cunningham. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they've got it here with a first down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On the keeper, here's Goff. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
Goff gonna, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Jared Goff taking it in. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Simeon. And incomplete to open things up. You know, it's hard to believe that with week 4 here, October is already upon us, and bye week's already upon us. Green Bay and Philly get week 4 off.
And I'm not sure either one of them wants it, but if one does for sure, it'd be Green Bay. Because their last 2 preseason games were on the road, their first 2 regular season games on the road, so maybe that'll help them relax a little bit. Philadelphia, though, they're 3-0 and undefeated. They'd rather keep playing right now. I think most teams would like to have their open week later in the season.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, maybe week 9, week 10, so you have a lot on the front and a lot on the back, a good break in the middle.
I think you're exactly right. Rest up, heal up, and then get ready for the stretch drive.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. After the run, Goff going to throw. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. Jared Crick in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Now it's Zuerlein to try the Ram field goal. And this a 39-yard attempt. And Zerline pulled it. Zerline pulled it. It's no good. Wide left. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Now Simeon. And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Robert Quinn in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now Austin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They come up in an offset eye. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. And
it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Gone. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Von Miller in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep.